I play the viola in the Australian Chamber Orchestra. There are 3 violas, so we're kind of outnumbered, but, you know, we're louder. Viola has a rich, kind of dark, melancholy tone compared to the bright sound of the violin. Bartók wrote in a letter to William Primrose, who was a very fine virtuoso violist of recent history, mentioning the more masculine tone of your instrument, as opposed to, of course, the violin. We're part of the inner voice of the orchestra, so the second violins and violas, we form the link between the bottom end and the top end. We play a lot of the cello repertoire just up an octave. If you're playing some orchestral repertoire and in the viola part it says solo, it's usually something that reflects some sort of sadness or loss. When I started the ACO, we talked about instruments and I'd need a new instrument. I asked around and lo and behold, just happened that David Dixon was selling his viola. David Dixon, at the time, was the principal viola of the Opera and Ballet Orchestra in Sydney. So I rang him up and thank goodness, here I am. I've got this amazing instrument and it's being played all over the world. My viola was made by a fellow called Arthur E. Smith in Sydney in 1937, so it's a fairly young instrument, but in my opinion, it's comparable to the best in the world. He made a lot of violins and a few violas and a few cellos, very few cellos. His violins are excellent, but his violas are absolutely outstanding. The instrument was made in a pair for the principal viola of the Sydney Symphony Orchestra. Incidentally, this one's Martha and the other one was Arthur. I think the international regard that Smith gained for his instruments was certainly more in the old days when he was alive and making. Now we're sort of struggling to gain recognition around the world. David Oistrakh, one of the most famous violinists, when he came here, he played a Smith and he bought one, or maybe he was given one by a Smith, I'm not sure, but certainly there was a reputation there. People came to Australia thinking it's a backwater, and then how extraordinary. They've got an amazing fiddle maker here. Incredible. The reason I chose this particular movement of Bach was because I'm feeling a bit sad at the moment. I think that's probably why. I'm joking. My viola has a fruity, rich, dark tone, so I thought this particular suite, the prelude to the second cello suite, really allows that to be expressed clearly and openly.